Tournament Director of the Bowen Classic.
Hi, I'm Larry Dickinson, the Tournament Chief Executive. The Bowen Classic will be back here at the Golf Club at Squamish Ridge in August of 2021. We look forward to coming back and being with our partners, sponsors, and players who have all contributed to make the Bowen Classic one of the best on the PGA Tour Champions.
We appreciate all that you have done for us over the past 15 years. Together, we have raised nearly $10 million to benefit Bettoroya Research Institute and other local charities. We miss our fans this year, along with our volunteers and our partners. On behalf of the Bowen Classic, Virginia Mason Medical Center, and the Bowen Company, we say thank you.
And we'll see you here next August.
My name's Marcus Miller. I'm the winemaker and owner here at Airfield Estates Winery. And just really great to be able to talk to you right now about our great wines and to be part of this great cause of raising money for USC and cancer treatment. So our history here at Airfield Estates is we are a 4-generation farming family, airport ranches, and absolutely two of my favorite wines. Cab's got red fruit and just this really luscious mouthfeel with that tannin edge you'd expect on Cab. And then our Chardonnay is this really nice balanced Chard where you get mouthfeel and texture, but still is very respectful of the fruit, and it's got a nice acidity as well. So we hope you enjoy these wines, and if you want to learn more or get involved with us, a great opportunity is our wine club, which I've got the brochure right here, and you can definitely check us online at airfieldwines.com, and look forward to hopefully meeting you guys all in person someday. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Poland, and on behalf of the Swing Against Cancer Committee, I want to welcome all of you to Rancho La Quinta Country Club for a great day of golf and friendship. More importantly, I want to thank each of you for your support of this, our 6th annual Swing Against Cancer event. Our event raises much-needed funds for USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center in their quest to make cancer a disease of the past. Through the years, we've raised over $600,000, and we are hopeful with your support, this year will be another record-breaking success. By now, you've all registered, gotten your tea prizes, bought your important mulligans, had some of Chef Bob's great food, hit some balls on the range, honed your chipping and putting skills, and you're ready to start heading out to your tees. Before we do, I want to introduce Justin Stelzer, formerly our head golf professional and now our assistant general manager, who's going to review with us the format of today's play. Justin?
Thank you, Bill, and good morning, everyone. As Bill is unaware, We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and unfortunately that means we won't be able to host the event this season here at Rancho La Quinta Country Club. Hopefully Bill will start to pay attention to the news and read the newspaper every now and then and keep up with current events in our world.
Wow, Justin, that is not the news I was expecting to hear out of you. Folks, based on what Justin just said, I'm sorry, but it looks like many other things that have been canceled this year will also include this year's Swing Against Cancer event. Take care, goodbye, and fight on.
Welcome to the 2020 USC Swing Against Cancer. And now, please welcome your Master of Ceremonies, Bill Poland.
Not a chance, friends. This pandemic is not stopping cancer, and it's not going to stop our committee from its mission to support the doctors and the entire team at USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center in their fight to make cancer a disease of the past. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, and welcome to the 6th annual Swing Against Cancer event. Before we get started, Dr. Carol Folt, president of the University of Southern California, has allowed me to bestow on each and every one of you the designation of Trojan for the night. Trust me, Elizabeth, Denny, Ben, and all you other would-be or real domers out there, I assure you this will not hurt as you become a Trojan for the night. Besides, I think you'd all look a lot better in cardinal and gold. As we begin tonight's event, we have 4 goals. First, to let you hear from the USC director, some of the incredible doctors and what they're doing in their areas of specialty to innovate, and also survivors and their experience at USC Norris. 2 is to have some fun. 3 is obviously to give you all an opportunity to support the efforts of USC Norris by continuing to bid on items, funding a need, or later in the show raising your paddle for support of USC Norris. And finally, at the end of the show, give every one of you a gift in appreciation of your support. One last housekeeping reminder before we get started. The silent auction bidding will end promptly at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. After that, however, the Make a Donation will still be available until Monday morning at 7 a.m. After that, you will all receive an email from Jacqueline Bertol of USC Norris with an invoice for all those that want a silent auction item or donated with optional payment methods for you to complete your transaction. Now, as we begin the evening, it is my great privilege to introduce Dr. Karen Lerman, Director of the USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, to share with you what is going on now and her vision for the future for USC Norris. Hi, Karen.
Good evening. First, I want to thank Bill and his dedicated committee for their efforts in launching a golf outing into cyberspace. Bill, I think this is the longest drive you'll ever have. And I was really looking forward to being there in person, enjoying a relaxing day at La Quinta with golf and getting together for a relaxing dinner. What a year this has been. I'm sure we all want to take a mulligan on 2020. One of the things that's very much on people's minds these days is healthcare. And at USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, we are so proud to link arms with Swing Against Cancer and Bill, because thanks to the support from this event, we've been able to accelerate our progress in giving cancer patients and their families what they care about the most, which is time. And through groundbreaking work performed every day in our laboratory and clinics, we're doing just that. We've given people more days, more moments to cherish with their families and friends. And this commitment is what drives me and drives all of the staff, the physicians, and the scientists at USC Norris who've dedicated their careers to combating cancer. So today, more than ever, in USC Norris's 50-year history, we're in a position to achieve the simple yet powerful goal of Kenneth T. Norris, which is to make cancer a disease of the past. But we need your help to do this. So how are we doing this? First, we're changing the way that cancer is prevented, diagnosed, and treated. And just as one example, if we think about treatments for cancer, many of the treatments, the way they're delivered today, is drug-centric, which means you identify the particular type of cancer and you give the first-line drug available, say for breast cancer, prostate cancer, or other cancers. But at USC Norris, we're changing the paradigm because we're considering not only the type of cancer and the drugs available, but we are looking at the patient's own inherited genetic makeup, the genetic makeup of their tumors, their immune profiles, their lifestyle, their diet, environmental exposures, to come up with the best possible predictive model to identify the treatment that's going to work the first time. So we are leveraging all of the talent that we have, as well as all of our data, to make this vision come true. And I know that with your help, we can do this. This is like the Holy Grail, and no other cancer center has yet managed to pull all of these, what we call big data, together to accomplish this model that we refer to as precision oncology. Again, we can do this together. Before I close, I'd like to take a moment to highlight some of our exceptional speakers, our USC Norris rock stars. First, I'm very proud that you'll be hearing from Dr. Stephen Grossman. Very proud to have recruited him recently as the inaugural cancer physician-in-chief at USC Norris, and he'll be sharing with you plans to elevate even further our patient-centered care models and to deliver the best possible evidence-based care. In addition, you'll hear from Dr. John Carpton, who's doing amazing work in prostate cancer, and he'll tell you about the enormous disparities in prostate cancer incidence and mortality that exist just in Los Angeles County as well as in the nation. Dr. Bodor Salia will share with you exciting work that she's doing to develop a simple blood test that will answer a question at the front of the minds of any women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, which is, will my breast cancer come back? And she will tell you more about the blood test that she's developing to answer this important question. And Dr. Heinz Joseph Lenz will share information about work on pancreatic cancer, a cancer for which we desperately need new forms of treatment to save lives. So in closing, I want to just emphasize again how important philanthropy is as the single most important factor to accelerate our efforts in these areas and others. Many of you joining us tonight may have been impacted by cancer, you or your family, so you understand this. But countless individuals, countless patients, countless families have benefited directly through the support provided through this event. And we've been able, thanks to this support, to give more patients the gift of time. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next year.
Thanks, Karen. And I, for one, know with your passion, dedication, and the team you've recruited at USC Norris, you will succeed in its mission. Before we hear from some of USC's rock stars that Karen mentioned, let's hear from Jimmy Kimmel about the advice he gave new USC Keck School of Medicine graduates as they began their incredible journeys.
Someday, when you're in practice and the money is rolling in, and you will face the temptation that so many doctors before you have faced. One that leads to frustration and cynicism, despair. At some point in your lives, you will be tempted to play golf. And I'm here to warn you, don't give in. Don't go down that dark fairway. Just say no, get in your cart and drive away as fast as that thing can go. There will be pressure. You'll be at a party. Other doctors will be like, come on, we're all doing it. Don't you want to be cool? And maybe you'll say, oh, all right, I'll play a few holes. If I don't like it, I can quit, I guess. Oh no, you cannot quit. This is how they get you. Next thing you know, you're spending money on club dues and greens fees. You're binge buying putters on Amazon. You're installing a Jumbotron-sized simulator in your den. You're leaving the operating room early to make a tea time. You're neglecting to make love with your spouse because you're watching the Honda Classic. And then one day you'll wake up, you'll find yourself in San Diego, crammed in the gallery at the 15th hole of the Farmers Insurance Open, clapping politely as some rich jerk leaves it 4 inches short of the hole, and you'll say, my God, what have I done with my life? But it'll be too late then, so don't ever play golf. And my final piece of advice is this, is to take care of yourselves. You're going to be saddled with a lot of stress, taking care of others. People depend on you for their well-being and their lives. You'll be dealing with frightened, sometimes angry patients, also a fair number of smelly patients. You will maybe even a couple of patients who've been impaled by the same metal pole during a train accident. You have to figure out which one to save. Should it be the younger one who has her whole life ahead of her, or should it be the older one with a family and a job? I saw that on Grey's Anatomy, but it could happen, you know? The life you've chosen is consequential. You've been given the privilege of seeing people who were a few moments ago complete strangers, undressed and sharing secrets they've never shared with anyone else. And sometimes you have to give them terrible news. It's a stressful job being responsible for other people's lives, and most of your marketing friends and your writer friends and your lawyer friends are not going to understand it. So lean on each other, because all of you will, in the next 3 to 7 years, have a hard time. It will be hard. Doctors need doctors too. Take care of each other and find a way to make time for yourself. Make me time, not tea times. Thank you for listening. Thank you for devoting your lives to this noble profession. Thank you for all the hard work you've done and the hard work you're going to do. Nothing is more important than this. I promise you that this job is worthy of being your life's work. Thank you for helping others. And I don't know when the peace sign became fight on, but fight on, Trojans. Thank you.
Sound advice, Jimmy, and it sure has me thinking about the value of my 60 years of playing golf. As Karen said, this is truly an exciting time for USC Norris with its first cancer physician-in-chief, Dr. Steve Grossman. If that doesn't indicate how serious USC Norris is about the innovative, patient-centered way USC Norris will wage this fight, then how about the fact that Steve is an internationally recognized clinician and scientist in gastrointestinal cancers? Steve will provide oversight for the USC Norris Keck Medicine cancer line and expand the multidisciplinary clinics to deliver a seamless, patient-centered cancer care experience. Hi, Steve.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'm Steve Grossman, the incoming Cancer Physician-in-Chief for USC Norris Cancer Center. I just started in the past few weeks, and I'm so excited to serve as the inaugural Cancer Physician-in-Chief at Norris, where my role will be to oversee the operations, integration, and expansion of Norris's clinical cancer services. If I may take a few minutes, I'd like to share with you some of my goals for Norris over the coming months and years. First, I'll be working every day to deliver the best patient experience possible to our patients, which will be seamless from referral and scheduling of the first visit on the first call, through treatment and improving the experience in our clinics and treatment areas, to long-term follow-up care, so that our patients always know they have a dedicated team looking out for them 24/7, 365. Secondly, I'll be working closely with many colleagues at both Norris and Keck Medicine to build multidisciplinary teams and clinics centered around key cancer diagnoses that we already treat, but will do so in a more integrated, more patient-centric fashion by bringing together all our specialists in one-stop clinics for new evaluations and ongoing treatments, including all disciplines such as medical oncology, surgical oncology, radiation oncology, pathology, radiology, and our partners in nutrition and integrative care and social work, psychology, and others. And in doing so, deliver an integrated and truly holistic patient experience that is also cutting edge and highly specialized for their particular cancer. And finally, as an NCI Comprehensive Cancer Center, research and finding new cures is at the heart of what we do. And as leader of our clinical operations, I'll be working hand in hand with our amazing clinical research team to make sure our clinical operations fully support the delivery of cutting-edge clinical trials to our patients. I want to thank you for attending this wonderful event tonight and for your generous support. I very much look forward to meeting you in the future. And thank you.
Clearly, Steve is up to the challenge, and we wish him all the best. Fight on, Dr. Grossman. You know, I've been told many times that while research and theory are great, the real proof of their value is in the outcomes they achieve for patients. So now let's hear from a dear friend, incredible singer, and cancer survivor Joyce Nola on her experience with USC Norris. Hi, Joyce.
I'm happy to share my story, my experience at the Norris Cancer Center. It started with going to Denver, Colorado, to the National Jewish Hospital there. National Jewish is a primary clinic for pulmonary disease in the United States. At the end of the week of testing, they determined I probably had an adenocarcinoma and that when I got home, I should have a biopsy. I went to my pulmonologist after I returned. She's a young woman who took over the practice of my doctor who I'd had for a long time. I'd seen her a couple of times before though, and I told her I wanted to have a biopsy on my lung. And she said, "What are you going to do about it at your age?" That shocked me. She considered me too old to have surgery, but I told her I wanted to go ahead with the needle biopsy. When my husband and I went back to her office for the results, before she gave them to me, she again said, "What are you going to do about it at your age?" Well, we decided we'd go to Norris Cancer Center at USC. As it was positive, that's what we did. We made an appointment for the following week at the pulmonary clinic at the Norris Cancer Center. We were met by a friendly and relaxed oncologist who spoke with us and then chose a Dr. Sean Whiteman to do the actual surgery. Dr. Whiteman sat with us, gave us his background, and assured us that he'd done several cases just like mine. We felt confident after talking with him and made a date to begin the process for the surgery. Dr. Whiteman explained that he would remove the upper left lobe and 38 benign lymph nodes. 2 weeks after that, that's exactly what he did. I had such confidence in my doctor that when a nurse prepping me tried to relieve my fears, I said, "I don't have any," and I didn't. Recovering from the surgery was pain-free. The nurses and staff were excellent. At all hours of the day, they were in your room monitoring your blood pressure, taking your pulse, making sure that you were eating, and making sure that you were walking. All the staff were knowledgeable and efficient. In 5 short days, I was in the car and headed home. I had one post-op visit with Dr. Whiteman, but then the coronavirus hit and we could only do teleconferencing after that. We had a few phone calls. They were relaxed and friendly. I knew that if I had any questions, I could call Dr. Whiteman's office and he or his assistant would be there to answer any questions. They knew me and they listened to my concerns. With most doctors today that I've gone to, they seem overworked, have limited time for their patients, and sit at a computer as they talk to you and ask questions. The care at Norris Cancer was quite different than any other I'd experienced. If you have an illness and you need to find answers, I encourage you to go to USC, Norris Cancer Center. You will be treated with respect. They will listen to your concerns. And most of all, they will be trained to treat you with the most efficient treatment for your problems. They are there for you.
Thanks, Joyce, and it's so great to know you're doing well. As a prostate cancer survivor, thanks to USC Norris, these next videos on the subject really hit home for me. First, Dr. John Carpton, the co-leader of the Translational and Clinical Sciences program at USC Norris, will talk about his research around the development and application of cutting-edge genomic technologies, bioinformatics analysis in search of germline and somatic alterations that are associated with cancer risk and tumor biology, respectively. John has also an intense focus on understanding the role of biology in disparate cancer incidence and mortality rates among underrepresented populations. Then we'll hear from Dave McLeod, my friend of over 50 years and a prostate cancer survivor. And lastly, from Dr. Inder Gill, my surgeon, about more cutting-edge technologies in the treatment of prostate cancer. Hi, John.
Hi, my name is John Carpton, and I am professor and chair for the Department of Translational Genomics within the University of Southern California Keck School of Medicine. I also serve as co-leader for the Translational and Clinical Sciences program within the USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center. My expertise is in the area of genetics and genomics, with a strong emphasis on cancer research. And among the cancers that I've studied quite extensively throughout my career is prostate cancer. Without a doubt, we are seeing tremendous progress in our fight against this disease. There have been amazing advances, particularly in the development of treatments and therapies for localized and advanced prostate cancer. As per the latter, new knowledge related to the biological processes that cause these cancers has been exploited to fight this disease, so progress has been made. However, the fight still persists. There will be an estimated 190,000 new cases of prostate cancer this year in the U.S., with over 30,000 men dying from this disease. So we do need to do better. One thing that we know is that early detection saves lives. The current biomarker for detecting prostate cancer, which is PSA, or the prostate-specific antigen, has been an incredible tool and has positively affected a lot of men's lives. But we also know there are some limitations in that an elevated PSA level does not always mean that there's cancer, as benign prostate issues can also trigger an elevated PSA level. Also, when the actual PSA number is taken, especially the first time it's taken, the levels can't always tell the doctor if the cancer is really advanced or if it's slow growing and less aggressive. So we need better tools for detecting prostate cancer and for determining if the cancer is destined to be a very serious cancer or not. Researchers in my lab and other labs at USC are using state-of-the-art molecular technologies to aid in the early and more specific diagnosis and prognosis of prostate cancer. Another important consideration regarding prostate cancer is that the prevalence and mortality rates are twofold higher in African American and Black men. As a matter of fact, the two most significant risk factors for prostate cancer are 1, having a family history of the disease, and 2, being African American or Black. Moreover, research points to the fact that the cancers that are detected in African American men are more likely to be aggressive. Undoubtedly, the social determinants of health, such as socioeconomic factors and limitations in access to quality care, play a significant role in these disparities. However, mounting evidence suggests that there could be a convergence of environmental factors and social factors along with molecular factors that drive these differences.
My name is David McLeod, and I'm pleased to do anything I can to provide any insight to someone who's gotten the diagnosis of prostate cancer. I anticipated I was going to get it since my dad had gotten it. And therefore, I, over the period of years, tracked and compiled a list of the first-rate facilities, first-rate physicians, and all the possible care options. Also, by the time I was diagnosed at age 65, 4 years ago, I had, by my count, knew at least 10 guys that had received the diagnosis. Some close friends, some business colleagues, some people I knew socially. And so I really tracked the different facilities and the different care options. I must say, when you're diagnosed with it, I anticipated it, but I still, it's a gut punch when you get it, at least for me it was. And it's okay to feel anxiety, it's okay to feel some fear, it's okay to really worry about what's going to happen to your family. And anybody who tells you they don't experience those emotions is not being forthright with you, in my experience. Due to the fact my dad had had it, and also a couple of close friends had had it, I'd seen what could happen to people if they did not make the right care choice, if they didn't receive the proper care. Bluntly, I saw it just ravage at the end my dad and a very close friend. So I knew that although I didn't have any control over the disease itself, that I just had to deal with it. I knew the one thing I had control over was the selection of where I was going to get the care and what kind of care I was going to get, what procedure I was going to select. As I said, I had a list of all the facilities around Southern California. I had a list of all the care options and the top surgeons. At the end of the day, I did select Norris, and I'm very pleased that I did. I knew 2 guys who had been treated at Norris, each by different physicians. And interestingly, I didn't go to either of those. I simply went online and a resume of one doctor in particular caught my eye, Dr. Andrew Hung. And I can't tell you how pleased I am with the care that he and Norris gave me. went to Dr. Hung really to evaluate him in the first visit, and he obviously was evaluating me, but he took great care to explain all my treatment options, and painstakingly. In fact, he did it on multiple occasions. I was very, very informed. It really enabled me to make a very good decision for me. I received excellent care in his office. Before the surgery, I received excellent care at Norris in the days leading up to the surgery when you're doing the pre-op or admissions. And on the day of the surgery, the pre-op was terrific. The procedure went very well, and the post-op in the hospital was great, as was the follow-up care, particularly in the week afterwards when you're at home trying to figure out how to deal with this. I couldn't be happier with the care I received. There are a lot of good facilities and good surgeons around Southern California, but I do strongly recommend Norris, and I would say to anybody who's seen this, interview different facilities or different doctors, ask the really hard questions, make sure you understand all your options, and then you'll be able to make an informed decision. As for where I am now, I'm over 4 years post-op. I'm clean and was able to resume my life fairly quickly within a month or two after the surgery. And I wish you absolutely the best with your care and with your recovery. Thank you.
High intensity focused ultrasound, also known as HIFU, is a non-invasive way of destroying prostate cancer. HIFU uses a beam of ultrasound energy that is focused in the prostate, and at its focal point, it raises the temperature to 90 degrees centigrade that kills prostate and prostate cancer tissue. HIFU treatment can be performed in two ways: total gland HIFU or focal HIFU. Total gland meaning the entire prostate gland is ablated and destroyed with HIFU energy. Focal meaning only one lobe of the gland, only one part of the gland that has the cancer is ablated and killed.
Good evening. Thank you for all your contributions. Whether big or small, they make a huge difference. Thanks again.
Hello everyone. Thank you for all your contributions to help fight cancer. Fight on.
Hi, I'm Justin Silverstein, the head coach for the USC women's golf team. I'd like to thank the Swing Against Cancer team for their continued support of USC Norris. I hope everybody has a great event, and as always, fight on.
Congratulations, Dave, and thanks, Dr. Carpton. We hope the knowledge and treatment approaches you and Dr. Gill are continuing to develop will serve all populations, since, as you know, cancer does not discriminate. While all of us know that USC Norris has some unbelievably smart people engaged in the fight against cancer, sometimes, like in golf, it's not bad to be lucky and good. So now let's hear from Dr. Heinz Joseph Lenz, Associate Professor for Clinical Research and co-leader of the Gastrointestinal Cancer Program at USC Norris, talking about new developments in the fight to kill pancreatic and colon cancer.
Pancreatic cancer is one of the most deadliest and most difficult cancers to treat, and we still don't know what it's caused by. Patients with advanced disease depend on chemotherapy only, which is not very effective but has a lot of side effects. Efforts have been placed into characterizing pancreatic cancer on a genetic level. And there has been some progress made with the recent discovery of BRCA2 and a new drug, which is called a PARP inhibitor. We were very fortunate and a little bit lucky when we looked in our huge data sets on GI cancers and tried to figure out what genes or signatures or mutations will predict efficacy of particular target agents or chemotherapy. And we came across some very exciting new findings. A gene which predicted the efficacy of anti-VEGF therapy, which is the gene responsible for tumor blood vessel formation, predicted outcome, and this gene is called Down syndrome gene 1. So we were completely surprised, because what has Down syndrome to do with efficacy of tumor blood vessel formation? It has a lot to do, because Down syndrome patients do not develop invasive cancer, because these tumors cannot grow because they are lacking the ability of tumor blood vessel formation. That is the absolute key, that these cancers are prevented from growing or becoming invasive. We can actually synthesize this protein and apply it in preclinical models, a human natural protein which can fight off pancreatic cancer. We are in the process of testing this protein at Caltech and University of Uppsala in Sweden to be ready to go in our incredibly unique preclinical patient-derived mouse models. This is what you need for cutting-edge clinical drug development. In another set of molecular data, we found that a gene which is diagnostic for Parkinson's disease was associated with outcome in colorectal cancer. So we looked carefully about the signaling of Parkinson's disease and found that dopamine plays a significant role in colon cancer and pancreatic cancer development. In fact, when you throw in dopamine into the treatments available for pancreatic cancer, you increase the efficacy of this treatment. These new findings of Parkinson's signaling can have a dramatic impact on developing preventative and new treatment opportunities for cancer where we are in desperate need for new treatment approaches. I think molecular characterization and out-of-box thinking are absolutely critical to make significant progress.
Thanks, Dr. Lenz, and don't give up the fight. Let's now turn our attention to see how serious USC Norris is at fighting to make breast cancer a disease of the past, and then hear from Dr. Bahadur Salhiya, Associate Professor of Translational Genomics at USC Norris, to talk about her recent breakthroughs using liquid biopsies to identify breast cancer metastasis.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bahadur Salhiya. I'm an Associate Professor of Translational Genomics at the Keck School of Medicine. It's a real honor to have the opportunity to share with you some of the work that I am doing at USC and as a member of the Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center. Did you know that 3 out of 10 women with breast cancer will develop metastasis? That is when cancer recurs and spreads to other organs. In fact, 90% of breast cancer deaths are due to metastasis because there is no cure for those patients. The risk for metastasis increases when cancer is not completely eradicated by treatment. When women complete therapy for breast cancer, we don't know who is cured, cancer completely eradicated, and who has residual disease. The clinical dilemma is that this residual disease is too small to be detected by ultrasounds, mammograms, or any other labs, but it poses a significant risk of spread to other organs. That's why this residual disease is called micrometastatic residual disease, or MRD. In my lab, we have been working on developing a blood test of MRD to determine whose cancer has a likelihood of recurring which is to be used in women who have completed their therapy. The blood test is actually a liquid biopsy, which is a kind of blood test that can detect circulating tumor DNA. Circulating tumor DNA is DNA shed by cancer cells into blood. To do this, we use next-generation sequencing to identify gene alterations that we believe are shed by those residual cancer cells and can be used to develop a liquid biopsy test for MRD. We are now in the phase of research where we need to test it. We are recruiting women across a multi-ethnic cohort because we know from our existing data that Black women have a different set of MRD markers than non-Black women. And the same may be true for Latinas and other ethnic minority groups. The Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center is essential to our work because it's providing us with the necessary infrastructure and support to complete this work. Determining a woman's risk of recurrence using our liquid biopsy test for MRD will reduce breast cancer mortality because it will provide physicians an opportunity to intervene with additional surveillance and treatment to eradicate MRD and prevent recurrence. This will save lives. I want to end by thanking each and every one of you for participating in today's Swing Against Cancer event. We really appreciate what you are doing to support us in our mission at Norris and USC. Good luck and be well.
Hello, I'm Mike Bone, Director of Athletics for the USC Trojans. And I want to thank the Swing Against Cancer team for their support of USC Norris. We are so proud and lucky to have partners like you. Good luck for a great event and fight on.
Hi, my name is Gabby Ruffles and I'm a women's golfer at USC. I just wanted to thank the Swing Against Cancer team for their support of USC Norris. I hope it's a great event and fight on.
Everyone participating at tonight's event, Swing Against Cancer event, thank you very much. Fight on.
Hi, I'm JT Higgins. I'm the men's golf coach here at USC, and I just want to take a moment to thank the Swing Against Cancer team for their support of the Norris Cancer Center on the campus of USC. I hope you all have a great event and a fantastic day. Fight on.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah and I'm on the USC women's golf team. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Swing Against Cancer team for their support of USC Norris. I hope you guys have a great event and fight on.
Hi everyone. For all of you participating in tonight's Swing Against Cancer event, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your contributions, whether they're big or small, that'll help us combat cancer and make it a thing of the past. Fight on.
Thanks, Dr. Salhia. How amazing is her work to further eradicate breast cancer. All the best in continuing your fight against the second most common cancer diagnosed in women in the United States each year, with an annual death rate of around 41,000 people. Whatever you can do to stop that would be terrific. No wonder all these rock stars have such long titles with words that are hard to pronounce. It's because they're geniuses, passionate, and will not give up the fight. So now let's move away from these specialty areas and hear how USC Norris, unlike other institutions, is bringing all of this together to deliver state-of-the-science, seamless, patient-centered care, just like what they delivered to Joyce and Dave.
Cause is brilliant, and man, you got a lot of smart people back there. It is just amazing, isn't it? The genome was cracked, and now all this incredible medicine is coming from it.
Really, there's been an explosion of understanding.
Invasive cervical cancer is almost a thing of the past. We made tremendous strides against breast cancer. Still much work to be done.
At this moment in history, we are in a constant state of searching.
There's something going on groundbreaking right now.
It's providing us with an incredible opportunity to understand cancer in a way we never did.
How can we use smart medications, smart therapies that target the bad cell and leave the good cells unscathed?
What we are talking about going forward is targeted, image-guided surgery.
We can draw some blood from you, and then we sequence your DNA. We can then tailor the therapy.
We look at your genome and learn something about your environment.
We discover. We're pushing the envelope.
My dream for the future is that one of those scientists working in a laboratory is someday going to find the switch that turns off this damn disease.
Now is the time. You're really standing on the precipice of science.
We will make cancer a disease of the past.
I take heart in the work done by you all at the Norris Cancer Center. As you well know, we can never pull back in the fight against cancer, because cancer will never give up its fight to take the ones we love. I dream of the day, as I'm sure you do, when all cancer patients become cancer survivors.
I can tell you from personal experience that this team at USC Norris, with your support, will not only continue to dream big, but will achieve their mission of making cancer a disease of the past. So as one final show of support, I would ask all of you now to lift your right or left hand, whichever you will use to make one final donation on your smartphone. Please click on the Donate Now button and go to item 2000, Raise the Paddle. I will start by asking who will raise their paddle and click on $2,000. While you're doing that, I'll tell you a story about two bidders I ran into during the day today who were viciously bidding on the same item. Wait, I've got to stop right now. Thank you, Richard, for your $2,000 donation. We sincerely appreciate it. So now let's look at who is willing to raise their paddle for $1,500 or $1,000. So as my story continues, it turns out one of the bidders did some research and found out that I had a connection to this golf course. He then texted me and said, look, I am sick and tired of having this bid battle with this other bidder, whoever that is, regarding this golf course where you have a connection. Oh, sorry, got to stop now. Thank you all so much who have just raised your paddle for either $1,500 or $1,000. We truly appreciate it. Now it's time to ask who will raise their paddle for $500. As the story continues, I then decided to call the one bidder and say, look, if you want to play on the golf course, I can make that happen. He said, thank you so much, because now I can stop this stupid bidding war with the other bidder, and I can just write you a check for $1,000. So he decided he would write me a check for $1,000. I did not tell the other bidder that, but hold on, and I'll tell you the rest of the story in a minute. Okay, last ask. Please, let's make this look like a fireworks show with all of you that haven't already bid or donated hitting that $100 button. So the story goes, at this point in time, that I let the other bidder make one last bid, and then I let them know that, you know, you can stop bidding because the other bidder stopped and has already written a check for $1,000 to USC Norris. This other bidder, too, who, by the way, happened to be my son, also stopped his bidding and donated $750 for the foursome at this golf course. So as it turns out, as luck would have it, like I said, better to be lucky than good, two people now get to play a great golf course, and USC Norris gets the benefit of $1,750. I really appreciated that, and I thought that was a good day's work on my part. And now it is truly like fireworks on the scoreboard, seeing it light up with all of your $100 donations. Please remember you can continue to donate until Monday morning at 7 a.m. You know, we started this evening making all of you honorary Trojans for the night, asking you to support the doctors and team of USC Norris continue their fight to make cancer a disease of the past. All of you answered that call, and as we close, it is with humble and heartfelt thanks that I share with you that at this point, we have raised over $130,000. That means that in the 6 years we've been running this event, we've now raised over $750,000 for USC Norris. I also want to thank Mike, Justin, JT, Gabby, Aaliyah, and the USC Norris team for their well wishes. I stated at the start of the show we would have a gift for all of you. Our gift is simple. If you or anyone you know is dealing with cancer, please call us, and we will see to it that all the resources of USC Norris are made available to you immediately. You are not now and should not be alone in your fight, and USC Norris and our Swing Against Cancer Committee will be there for you. So please give us a call. So to all of you, on behalf of the entire Swing Against Cancer Committee, especially Don Davis, thank you all so much for your support tonight, and please stay safe, be well, and fight on. Good night.